Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's March 13th, 2019, and today's video is about growing microgreens. I'm actually growing some cruciferous vegetables, specifically broccoli microgreens, today. I posted a similar video 2 years ago. I'll put a link to that in the upper right-hand corner. And I posted some notes on our website about these microgreens as well, and I'll put a link to that in the upper right hand corner or in the description below if I can't get it linked in the upper right hand corner. So the whole process of growing microgreen, one more thing I should say is I believe that I could be able to find one of our videos that I posted several years ago on growing sprouting various seeds, broccoli sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, mung beans, and a whole variety of different sprouts that we've grown over the years. So by growing microgreens, specifically broccoli sprouts or broccoli microgreens, we really can benefit our health by getting sulforaphane, which is a potent phytonutrient that I describe in the video and even more so on the website link. Sulforaphane, in order to have sulforaphane get into us and be biologically active, we need to have the enzyme myrosinase interact with the precursor glucoraphanin that's in broccoli. And so if we cook the broccoli first, then the myrosinase is inactive, and then we can't get the sulforaphane, the product of myrosinase, ultimately into our systems. Or if we do get some, it's a minimal amount. So the goal is learning how to get as much sulforaphane into our systems so that we can be brighter, stronger, healthier, and live with more vitality. So by growing broccoli sprouts in a container, or growing broccoli microgreens, or eating a whole lot of broccoli crowns or stems, you can get the sulforaphane that is vitally important for your health. By cooking broccoli before cutting it up, I'm talking about the mature broccoli crowns, we aren't going to get the sulforaphane. If you cook it first and you want to get the nutritional benefits of sulforaphane, you have to add something like mustard seed on top of the cooked broccoli because that has the myrosinase enzyme active. Cooking deactivates the myrosinine enzyme. So we like eating the broccoli microgreens in our wraps on top of our 7-layer taco mix, whatever you want to call it, and in all sorts of dishes. Getting that into us all the time during the winter months is really, really helpful. So how I do this, one of the things I do is I start off with a soilless mixture in a shallow perforated tray, seeding tray. Let me show you what I mean. This is the standard perforated. You can see it's perforated, hopefully. No, this one isn't perforated. This is a non-perforated, approximately 2 inches deep seeding tray where we start our seeds in. Now there's another tray that goes inside of this as well. But this is the perforated seeding dish that we start our microgreens in. It can be very shallow. It's only about 3/4 to 1 inch deep, whereas this one's probably 1 3/4 to 2 1/4 inches deep. So a shallow perforated tray fit inside of a non-perforated tray, and then having a support tray underneath it so that it makes it more stable. So when it wobbles around, or we carry it around or move it or go and bring it to the sink and irrigate it, we water the microgreens, then we aren't cracking the trays and causing leaks at all. Now this is sitting on a seed starting tray that we have back here with some fluorescent lights over the top of it. Could be LED lights as well. You could do this in a window. Any of those things are fine. Now this happens to be on a heating mat, but the heating mat is not on. These cruciferous vegetables are very cold weather loving and appropriate seeds to start, so they don't need any extra heat at all. So let me set this down. And what I do is I go over and I use a soilless mixture. Let me make sure this is in focus. So I go over and make sure I have some soilless mixture, which is basically just a peat moss and perlite mixture. and I lay that out about 3/4 of an inch thick in depth, and then I use a board to flatten it out and make sure it's patted down nice and firm. That's all I do, and you can use your hand to pat it down. Then the next thing I'm going to do is take some of the broccoli seeds and evenly distribute them over the surface of this, and then water the seeds on this tray as well. So, and I do that twice a day. I water them twice a day. The benefit of having this perforated tray is I can lift the corner up, and if I've got too much water in there, I can just tip the whole unit over, and water will come out of the non-perforated tray inside of the support tray, and the water will come out. It'll make it lighter. Depending on how humid a climate or what you have running in your house or whatever, you may need to water it twice a day, maybe water it once a day. I think at least once a day is important. Here, I find it's beneficial to water them twice a day, especially as those microgreens start to grow up. If they're starting to fall over, then you know you aren't watering them enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on a little helmet that I fancied and put a GoPro camera on the front of it and show you what it looks like when I'm actually laying out the seeds and then watering the system as well. So here we go. Okay, I just went through and started the seeds. Hopefully the video will come out showing how I actually spread the seeds out in the tray, then water them. And it dawned on me, you'll see me using a small used peanut butter jar, spreading out the seeds. What I do is I buy, I buy broccoli seeds in bulk. Now I often used to save all the broccoli seeds and all the kale seeds, and I still have a few quarts of kale seeds. But I find it easy, and I do recommend this site. It's on Amazon.com, and I'll put a link below, and I think it's Todd Seeds is the name of the place. And then once I get a bag like this, I go ahead and separate it into the peanut butter jar or some of the big quart masonry jars as well. After watering the seeds, I usually do it twice. The very first time, I give it a few seconds in between the two waterings, just to make sure that the seeds are adequately soaked. Then I put it back on the seed starting tray. Remember, there's no heat mat turned on. There just happens to be one underneath it right now. And I leave the lights on. I don't put any covers on them. I know that Curtis Stone stacks them. I think predominantly that helps with saving space. I don't see any difference as far as germination rates. I've done it covered, I've done it in the dark, and I've done it with pressure on it. And I don't see any difference with germination rates. Then in several days, the microgreens will start looking like the second tray here, and I laid those all out on the white table so you can see them compared to each other. And then I went ahead, sharpened my serrated knife, and then went ahead and harvested the microgreens, put them in a salad spinner. We don't spin the salad, it's just a convenient container. We just had to pick up a different container, and it works out pretty darn well. So let me set these down. So the point that I really want to make is anyone can grow microgreens or sprouts at home, and it's really highly nutritious. And if you can eat them, eat broccoli or cruciferous vegetables before they're being cooked, especially during the winter months when the greens aren't all available, or you can't get organic salad greens and all, it's too expensive, whatever it may be. This is a really viable way of getting nutrients into yourself and your loved ones as well. And it's really inexpensive overall, because one of those bags of seeds will last probably the average person a year or more. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Give us a thumbs up. A like is really beneficial to the channel. Share it with your friends. It's always helpful as well. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye now.